Welcome to Friday reading sprints. I actually got the day right. I do these on all different days now, so I have to always think, what day is it? Where are we? I've had such a busy...
What's the year?
Yeah, honestly, I'd never know the year, so that's just... And it's still January as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what's happened to 2025. I've had a very busy couple of weeks, so it's nice to sit down and have a chat with you. I feel like it's been a little while since we've been on screen together.
Yeah, a little bit. Lots going on, but yes.
But you have a new Hunger Games book in your hands. So
I do. I'm only one chapter in so far. This is the Waterstones one with I presume what's different is the end papers.
Yeah,
because I think the Works has got this bit on it as well. So, but yeah, seeing all the reviews of it has got me very excited to continue reading. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. See, I haven't read, I want to say Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Is that what it's called? The one before? I don't know. Do you think you need to have read that one before you read this one, or are they sort of separate?
According to what people have said, yes, I believe so. I really like that one as well. And I don't get this whole I don't know how people could have considered Snow as a nice person. Like even if the actor's a little bit attractive, he's still really, really nasty.
Yeah, I mean, he runs the Hunger Games that pits children against each other to the death. So even if he's charming, he's a villain. Yeah. I think there is some interesting kind of debate, isn't there, online about like toxic people that are alluring. They're still toxic and horrible and evil.
But yeah, I mean, this is obviously, that one is before he runs the Hunger Games, but he still does some pretty horrible things in it. You haven't seen the film either, I'm assuming.
No, I wanted to read it before I watched the film, and then somehow the book just passed me by. And I'm really bad with like the big books that come out because I never pre-order them. I think, right, I'm going to go and pick it up at publication, and then I don't, and I kind of miss the boat. So I need to, at some point, sit down and read. I've hardly read anything. I was telling Kirsty earlier, people who are watching live. I'm incoherent already, sorry. I've had a lot of blurb requests this month. I think I'm on my third book for blurbing.
Wow.
So, and they're all books that are announced, so I can talk about them, but they're all really, really good. I read Exit Stage Death by Ava Eldred to begin with.
Oh, cool.
Murder mystery.
She's the boy band murder mystery.
Yeah, so boy band murder mystery, and now she's got a summer camp. Yes, summer theatre camp where somebody dies right at the beginning, and then a group of teens kind of think they're being targeted. So yeah, it's really good, really fun, and it kind of uses, I'm assuming Ava knows as much about theatre as she does as boy bands, because there's loads of good theatre references, and it's got that real feel of what it's like. I've only had like tastes of theatre, but I kind of recognize that feeling of the craving the spotlight and wanting to be the best you can be. I could vibe with some of that. And then I've read Jackie Sylvester's new book that's coming out soon. It's so good. Oh gosh, I cried and I laughed and I went through the whole kind of healing process in that book. It's really, really well. It's so beautifully written. It's great. And then I've just started Catalyst's new one that comes out in September.
Okay, cool.
Devouring Light.
An excellent 3 books of reading for blurbs.
Honestly, sometimes I do just look at them and
a couple of packets of tissues needed for Jackie's book. So
yeah, 100%. Like even the second you start it, I was like, okay, this is what we're in for. I'm going to sit down with my blanket and my tissues. Yeah, it's really good. And I'm not always great with sad books, but she does it so kind of gently and nicely, and it's very honest and real, but it's just like beautiful the way she does it. It's like the kind of remembering somebody and celebrating them angle. Yeah, it's really good. I was a bit worried, but I was like, I love Jackie, so I thought I'm going to persevere even if I find it too sad, and I didn't. I managed it. It just struck the line for me of just sad enough. And I've just started Kat's book, but it's really, really good so far. And weirdly, we've both gone for like sexy rock stars, and they're kind of quite similar in description too. So Kat hasn't read mine and I've not read hers, but we've kind of somehow I'm gonna have to show Kat some descriptions of them, and I'm sure, well, you can see on the front, I guess she'll see on the front cover of mine. I think, you know, sexy, alluring rock stars are cool, aren't they? So I guess we both just like the
is
same
hers
thing.
due out a similar time as yours as
I think
well,
it's the same
September?
day as mine,
Oh, is it the
actually.
same day?
I
Yeah.
think mine and Cynthia Murphy's and Careless's all come out on the same day, unless any of the dates have shifted. At one time, we were all on the same day.
Yeah. Is that like
these things-
the big September publishing day? Because there's always like a couple of days, isn't there, in the run up to Christmas where like all of the
Probably.
books are published.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that I'm never going to be a bestseller at certain points of the year. I'm like, yeah, I mean, probably not anyway. I've been an Amazon bestseller, but that I haven't been like on a list bestseller. And I always look at the other books that are coming out, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try my best. But
yeah,
yeah, it's nice to have books coming out. I can't complain. And I'm working on a new book that is not totally different. It's about similar things, but for a different audience. So that is interesting so far. It's not got a deal or anything. It's just me writing it. And it's nice. I'd forgotten what that feels like, writing a book that you're not under pressure to write, just for the fun of it.
When you say a different audience, you mean different age group or different genre?
Yeah, same genre but different age group. And weirdly,
okay,
I've got two books on the go, and I don't think it's too spoilery to say that one's for a younger audience and one's for an older audience. And I really want to write 3 books this year: 1 YA, 1 adult, 1 children's. And I'm on my way to doing it.
Just don't get them mixed up.
Well, this could be a big problem. I mean, yeah, writing something really cute and spooky for a younger audience and then just accidentally drop into the adult. I want it to be a bit spicy, the adult, but I've not got to any of that yet. So I've got to decide if I'm brave enough for spicy. It won't be the whole. It won't be the whole angle.
Jackie and my brain fart. Jackie and her colleague who write the Cadis Night series.
Yeah, I'm picturing her and I can't think of her name either. What is wrong with it?
It's just gone completely out of my head. Oh, brain. Anyway, they have done a writing sex scenes workshop before. We'll have to get them to do it again.
Yeah, I think I might have to ask them because, I don't know if I can do it. Have you read Laura Wood's adult debut, Under Your Spell?
No, not yet.
It was really good in Laura Wood's typical kind of beautiful romance style, really good characters. But her romantic scenes were really, really good. And obviously she's not done that before. Her, you know, in YA, they just kind of fade to grey, don't they, if you get them at all. And she did it really well. And I was like, oh gosh, when I get to writing those scenes, I'm going to reread Laura's and just remind me because it felt really romantic still. Sometimes I read spy scenes and they're either really clinical, and I don't like that, or they're overly descriptive.
Yeah, they use weird anachronisms.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want to read about, you know, vegetables in place of body parts. I think, you know, it's really elusive, isn't it, with romantic writing? Like, it's hard to describe what you like, but I think people probably like different things, which is why some of it reads so ick when you read it.
It's Natalie Simmons.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I was thinking Nina, and I'm like, that's not right. It's definitely not Nina.
I can picture her face
with an N.
Yeah, you've done well there, because I know they write as Cadis Night, don't they? Under their adult. I really like those books as well.
They've got some spice in them, and they are it's decent spice, I think.
Yeah, I like books like that are not all spice. I feel like I'm describing that aftershave brands at this point. All spice. Touch of spice. But yeah, I prefer not all spice. I prefer touch of spice, I think. So that's probably what I'd write, because I think I normally end up writing mysteries. I say that I find mysteries really hard, and it's always the thing I don't think I do it badly in the end, but my first draft is always like, Mina goes to a place and talks to somebody, and I don't know what she's going to do there. I think mysteries are really hard. And
she needs to find out this information.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so. And I always think, I'm not going to write a mystery next time. And then each one, like the Dracula one, could have easily not been a mystery, and I managed to turn it into one. I suppose Jonathan Harker, like my character's called Johnny. He obviously goes to Dracula's castle, and it's a bit weird how he doesn't come out in the day and stuff. So that's kind of a mystery for him, but for the reader, I don't think it's much of a mystery.
Well, I mean, if it's being promoted as a Dracula retelling, which it is, then yes, it's probably not much of a mystery.
I mean, why is he not eating in front of me? It's really strange, and there's no mirrors. How odd. I mean, I do wonder if anybody, because I was talking to a publisher about this, and they said some people won't have read Dracula who read it, and I was like, oh yeah, they won't have done. I mean, I always mention Dracula now, especially that I'm gonna have to just shut the door. Hang on, my washing machine is going absolutely crazy.
It's clanging. Hello, everybody in the comments. Who we got?
Yeah, I've
the first 2 Hunger Games. Oh.
Yeah, I always mention Dracula when I'm talking to kids about vampire books anyway, because I feel like it's a book that they should read. But I've started mentioning it more, obviously, because I've written a retelling, and I'd say very few of them have read it, even like of the older teens, and most of them seem to have heard of it, and a lot know who wrote it, but I don't think a lot of them have got an interest in actually reading Dracula itself. But
I see. I definitely read it as a teen for the first time.
Yeah, so. I did. There was like a kudos when I was younger of like maybe 13, 14, like, oh, I'm reading classics. I'm reading Pride and Prejudice, and I'm reading Dracula and Frankenstein. So I remember doing that. And I don't know, do teenagers, maybe some still do that, but maybe not as many do as when there was less entertainment when we were younger. Like there was no Netflix or internet when I was 13. I mean, so
yeah, I don't think I read Dracula for English. I definitely read Pride and Prejudice for English, I think.
Oh, did you? But, we didn't do any Austen for English. I read To Kill a Mockingbird as my classic novel, I think. And then we seemed to read a lot of Shakespeare, like whenever there wasn't any option. Like it's like, oh, read something from this time period, it can be Shakespeare. Read something Shakespearean. Oh, look, Shakespeare again. So yeah, I feel like I did a lot of Shakespeare.
Shakespeare again.
Yeah, no, I remember doing Twelfth Night, Othello, and I think there might have been a third one. Oh, Taming of the Shrew we did as well.
What did I do? Macbeth, like in the run up to before GCSE. Then I did Romeo and Juliet, and then Measure for Measure.
Oh, nice.
Which is an interesting one. But I've still got like my copies where I've got all my notes written in. And the kissing scene in the Romeo and Juliet, I was very mature, and I wrote tonsil tennis next to it because
I think Shakespeare would probably be okay with that. Like, I think Shakespeare has more words for, like you say, euphemisms for things. He had got various, like, I remember my sixth form teacher telling us with great pleasure, like, what all of these words that I just assumed were words. They were all just words for body parts and acts that you could do with them and stuff. And I was like, Shakespeare, he was writing Spice before Spice was a thing, I think.
Randy.
Yeah. Which is why I'm assuming you've watched Shakespeare in Love. I love Shakespeare in Love. That it kind of, what isn't on the page, what is just suggested in the actual plays, it's kind of all in there, isn't it?
Yeah. I know Shakespeare in Love is funny to me because I haven't watched it in ages, but it's got John Webster in it as the little boy who likes like murder and gore and stuff. And I studied Duchess of Malfi alongside Measure for Measure. So I was like, I know who that is. I know what he grows up to write.
That's awesome. I didn't actually realise that. I last saw it for my 30th birthday. We went to the theatre to watch it in London. So it's been 10 years since I've seen any version of it. So maybe I need to, because I do consider it like one of my favourite films, probably.
Yeah,
top 10 or 20 at least.
I have to say, I've been watching Handmaid's Tale, and I did not realise until series 2 when I actually looked at the credits as I was watching that the commander was Joseph Fiennes. I was like, what? I've been watching this for a whole series and I didn't put the two together. He looks very different.
I haven't watched it yet because I've read the book and I was like, oh, I don't know whether I can put myself through it. It's really hard. To me, it was really hard reading because it just felt a bit like it's predicting the future. I don't want that. So yeah, I haven't watched the TV show. I'm a bit kind of off dystopia.
Present.
Well, I'm a bit off dystopia for that reason. And I'm only reading dystopia if it's like I know Lauren James wrote, what was it called? The Quiet at the End of the World, I think. And Melissa Welliver's dystopians. Like I think when they feel hopeful and kind of cute to some extent, like Melissa's do particularly, I can cope with it. But if it's just bleak dystopia, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I want to read escapist books at the moment, particularly. Let's see who's here in the comments, then we can chat about what we are going to do. Hello, Stephen. Hello. Happy Friday. And it's nice to see you from the start, Marlene. I'm just causing chaos because I keep doing these on different nights, so I appreciate people finding us. Hello. Oh, Yeah, I miss many boats, Molly, and I've come to terms with this, that popular books scare me because I always am worried that I'm not going to enjoy them and the hype is going to overhype me, and then I miss them, and the next popular book comes out and I also miss that,
Yeah.
and repeat. I need to get better at that. Hello, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds very good. Do it. I'm a fan. What's I'm a fan? That doesn't sound familiar to me.
No, not familiar with that one either.
It sounds romantic, but it could just be because I've just been talking about romance. Yeah, I mean,
Old Spice, yeah.
I feel like at some point I'm going to be writing Old Spice, Marlene, at this rate. I am in my 40s now. Oh, did you? I feel so like cheated. I did. To be fair, I love To Kill a Mockingbird, but when I hear that people study Dracula, I'm like, oh man. But would I love it as much if I studied it now? Like if I'd ripped it to shreds, maybe.
Although I've studied Great Expectations twice and I love it. It's one of my favourites. So it doesn't have to ruin it for you.
No, I feel like Great Expectations with some slight adaptations of writing style like could be written now. And some of the content, it just feels something about that book. It feels really like charged with emotion and really current. It's so like it's my favorite I've read a few Dickens books and thought they were good, like, and enjoyed them, but I just love that one. I've read it multiple times. Oh, again, I was at the wrong school, Ellie. Like, yeah, we didn't do that I think bits of it came up, but we didn't actually study any.
Sorry, the next comment is just very cool.
Oh, wow.
Lord of the Rings. I mean, I read Lord of the Rings while I was at school. They had like three separate volumes in the library, and I devoured them. And then for passing my GCSEs, my parents got me the really nice illustrated version as a congratulations. So.
Well, my dad bought me The Beach because at the time when I was 15, 16, The Beach was my favourite book, and he bought me it in French, La Plage, so that I could, when I was doing my A-levels, because I knew it so well, I knew pages of it virtually off by heart. It was really handy because I could read the French version a lot easier. But then I realised that was kind of a cheat. So when I was set L'Étranger, I bought The Stranger in English. I was like, I'm just going to do it the other way. So I had the English-French versions to compare. So yeah, my dad did give me the idea to do it in the opposite direction. Probably not intended. Hello. Ooh, lots of books I've not heard of. Have you heard of that one, Kirsty?
I think I might possibly. I'm like, do I own it? I don't know. Possibly. it might have been a Goldsboro one.
Oh, maybe. Possibly. Do you get the Goldsboro subscription?
The sci-fi fantasy one, yeah.
Okay. So I just tend to order like the occasional Goldsboro edition. The only subscription I've got at the minute is Evernight, and I really like it so far. So I'm gonna keep it going.
For the next book.
Do you know what it is that's coming up?
Yeah, I do. I won't spoil it though. Okay. If you want to know later, I'll message you.
Okay. Yeah,
I won't spoil it in case anybody on here wants to.
I do. I try and look up what they are in advance because with it being horror, I'm generally worried that I'm going to order it. And like with Bat Eater, Cash was talking about it. I nearly ordered it and I thought, I'm just going to check. It's not the Evernight. And then it was. So yeah, it's worth me checking. And I did the same with...
I am looking forward to reading that one.
I'm about halfway through it and I had to put it down for all the blurb requests, but it's really, really good. It's so evocative of the pandemic that I don't think I can read it very fast because it makes me feel a bit like, oh, I remember that time. It wasn't a good time. I mean, it was a great time because I had Nathan, but it was a hard time, globally and personally in a lot of other ways. But she does it so well, and it's from the angle of this young Chinese woman who's obviously suffering a lot of like people,
racism.
Being abusive and racism. Yeah. Blaming her personally for the pandemic, hence the title. And it's really interesting to see that angle on the pandemic that I'd kind of considered it as an abstract, but being immersed in it it's really dark but really good.
Yes. I do own Shield Maiden. It was a Goldsboro.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Whenever you watch those Utopian Society things, like I was really into Stargate Atlantis because Jason Momoa's in it was, a big reason. But I did in the Utopian Societies, they're all like, oh, this is a bit weird. And I'm like, no, actually, this is quite nice. As long as it's a genuine utopia, like you're not talking, like sometimes it's like a dystopia.
A fake utopia,
yeah. I was always quite happy with that. I was like, yeah, leave me there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us more Becky Chambers, please.
Yes. Yeah, I haven't actually read those, but I know like the vibe is like everything's nice and cozy, isn't it? I started reading the first one and I wasn't in the mood. I don't think it was a bit long. At the time I think I was reading like 200-page books, which is generally I'm keeping that on my back burner, Marlene, because I think that at the moment I'm writing characters slightly younger than me in the adult one. I mean, maybe like early 30s, I think, probably. Possibly late 20s, depending on how the publisher, hopefully if I get one, wants to market it. But yeah, I think as I get a little older, I think I want to write people actually my age, like going through the stuff that, you know, because obviously I'm in my 40s now. It's like knowing what life is like.
Maybe I should write like chronically ill Spice. Like, ow, no, not there.
No, seriously, you should, because how relatable would it be? I mean, I don't, touch wood, have any like prolonged chronic conditions, but my knees aren't what they were. My backs and shoulders certainly aren't what they were. I feel like that could feature in a voice, something romance. Like, hang on, let me clean my shoulder. Yep, I'm fine.
Yeah, no. Can I get a cushion?
Yeah. Yes, but that would be brilliant. I think I need to listen to. Okay, why can I not remember anybody's names? Julia Tufts has written an adult book, hasn't she? And I feel like Julia caught the humour of being a young a teenage girl really well.
Yeah.
It's only on Audible at the minute. And my Audible's paused. So when I can unpause it, I'm going to get that. I'm a fan by Sheen. Oh, literary fiction. Oh, that sounds amazing. Like a kind of slow burn. I've watched like slow burn horror thriller type movies about that. Yes, I am excited. Last year was a real editing year. I edited Mina 3 at the beginning of the year, and then I edited Dracula for most of last year and had various job changes. So I feel like I didn't really write anything. So this year it's really nice that I'm actually writing. I just can't decide on what. At the minute I'm sticking with the children's one because I'm really into it, but I'm jumping between.
Oh, what's that? It's in the like Audible Plus catalogue, so I can add it to my library.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
so
45 things to do before you're 45. But it's a novel. It's not a non-fiction. So
yeah, I think I think the idea is that hopefully it will come out as a novel afterwards. Audible have had it first, haven't they? So
yeah, Audible original.
Cool. We need more fiction. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I met my husband when I was really, really young, so I can't really talk the perils of dating in your 40s, but I can imagine the horrors. And sometimes the good news, like I think lots of people meet nice people in the 40s. But yeah, I met somebody in my teens and stuck with him. So
yeah, I've given up on the dating apps for now. So, but yeah, I could probably write some horror stories or.
I've heard some from friends, and it's just it's really sad, isn't it, that the internet, I think I communicate with people as carefully as I can on the internet, and some people it just gives them a license to say stuff that they wouldn't say to somebody's face, whereas I think I'm the opposite on the internet. I'm like more careful about something I'm putting into writing to somebody than anyway, that's just me.
Definitely.
So I'm going to write a bit of my children's book because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I haven't quite hit my daily word count today because I kind of saved a bit for tonight. I could do with writing 400 more words and then I'll be happy, which I think I can probably do in 40 minutes. So you're going to remind me the title of it. I'm going to butcher it.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't know I was going to say Songbird on the Reaping.
Songbird on the
That's
Reaping.
the other one, isn't it?
Yeah, although it does have a songbird and a snake on it again. So
yeah,
I can see why you get confused about that. So
I feel justified.
I do have to do a couple of work emails first, but then I will definitely crack into it. So yeah.
I don't know whether you saw on my social media. I thought of you today. I got a box of Buffy stuff.
I did. I just saw it literally just before I came on, and that hoodie. Oh.
Honestly, I actually nearly cried when I saw it. I just lifted it out of the box and saw "Be Brave" on the front, and I was like, "They haven't put something on the back, have they?" As well. And I turned it over, and I was like, "This is why you shouldn't live film stuff." I could have done with preparing myself for that, because the feelings that quote is just so powerful, isn't it? It takes you straight to that moment.
And especially obviously with Michelle passing away recently. So I found some like old calendars, so I was kind of doing things, and there was that quote on it as well. I was like,
oh gosh, it's just awful.
Emotional.
Yeah, she was younger than me. The amount of people that messaged me and said, "Have you seen this news?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do feel like it's somebody that I knew." I kind of grew up at the same time as Dawn, because I was always like a bit younger than Buffy, like Dawn was. I mean, obviously, there was a point where I overtook Buffy, and I've continued to do so exponentially since. But
exponentially.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what though? Have you watched the new Dexter series?
No, I haven't.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar plays like the lead lab technician, and it's so lovely to see her in something again. She's really good. She's kind of like, it's the 90s and she's a woman in kind of a man's world, even more so than that industry would be now, I imagine. And she's sort of becoming a mentor figure to a young Dexter, and it's really good. And Christian Slater plays Dexter's dad. So it's like the perfect 90s cast, really.
Christian Slater and Sarah Michelle Gellar in the same thing. Wow.
And Patrick Dempsey, if that sways you the way it did me, Patrick Dempsey too. He's the police chief. And did you watch the original Dexter?
Yeah.
So it's really good because obviously the cast, some of them are still like, they're working for the police and they're like new, like Angel Batista is the guy that they cast for him is incredible. He looks and sounds just like him. So it's really good. If you're at all into Dexter, I'd recommend it. I think I like it as much as the original. And they get Michael C. Hall narrates it too, so you're still in Dexter's head. It's Michael C. Hall. So yeah, it is Michael C. Hall, isn't it? Whenever I say that, I always want to mix him up. Who's that 80s actor who was in Weird Science? Michael.
Oh yeah, isn't he? He might be Michael Hall as well, but
I think he is. And I always, whenever I say Dexter's name, I get confused which. Or is he Anthony C. Hall or something like that?
Oh, maybe.
Anthony Hall, and maybe yeah. But whenever I say Dexter's name, I don't know who I'm talking about. Oh, I need to read more Clive Barker. How is it?
Weave World.
I don't think I've heard of that one. I've got a couple, and I feel like, again, it's one that I probably read as a teenager and I haven't read a lot since.
I don't think I have read anything by him. Obviously, I've seen Hellraiser. He did, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I don't think I've read any Clive Barker. So
I think from what I remember as a teen, I was reading Stephen King at the time, who's fairly wordy himself. I think that Barker was of a similar style. So I don't think I massively vibed with it then, but I think I probably would now. Yeah, this is the thing. I think that every time I look at a Clive Barker book, I'm like, yeah, it is a chunker. That's the word.
Yeah.
So you're going to read. I'm going to write. I'm definitely going to write in the first one, and then I'll see what my energy levels are like in the second. So let's do 40 minutes and catch up on the other side.
Yep, cool. See you all then.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello, I jumped a mile.
Sorry, were you engrossed in your book?
Yeah, out of practice. The cat.
Yeah. I looked like 30 seconds before and thought I can send the backup to myself in the time, and I've got the file there open, so I didn't quite get done what I wanted to, but I exceeded my word count. I don't know how much I wrote today, but definitely I'd set 1,500 words, and I think I wrote probably more like 1,800 today, which is good because I find that I can write probably about 2,000 comfortably before my brain starts going, no more today, thank you. But I had some other stuff to do today, so I was like, 1,500 will be fine. I was just saying to Kev, it's nice to write something that isn't under contract, although I would like to have a book deal for it ideally.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's completely for me, like with no other agenda attached, like, oh, what audience could this be for or whatever. It's just I've got no idea. I mean, I know roughly what age I think it'll be for, but
and slightly less pressure in terms of the clock ticking down.
yeah, and I'm pressuring myself a little because it's like I want it done so that I can, go on submission, write other things. But yeah, I can enjoy it, and I know that my Dracula typeset's going to come back at some point, and I will have to check that, which I'm excited about. I love seeing it done up for the first time.
It looks, yeah. Would your agent represent you for the children's and for adults? Or?
Yeah, I don't. Adult, yes, absolutely. The children's one's a bit of a grey area. So yeah, I'm still figuring that out because literally it's just in the past 2 weeks I've decided that I'm doing this. I was writing the adult book and it was okay, but I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I need to sit on it for a bit longer. And then this character that I'd had in the back of my mind for a while just suddenly went, hey, this is the voice. Can you write me now? And I was like, okay, I'll write you now. I just thought of I can't think what it's called. I'm so tired. Like almost like a prologue, which I don't normally write, but it was just like 3 characters. And I sent it to my friend Mia, and I was like, I think I'm writing a children's book. Is this good? And she was like, yeah, write it, please. I was like, okay. I normally do this with like Mia and my husband are kind of my first barometer of taste. Like, am I writing something good here? They were the ones that told me to, keep working on the Dracula one.
Yeah.
Because I do sometimes start things and then go, I'm not bothered about this. I'm going to do something else.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. Which is what the adult one's a bit like. I really like it, but I just don't know what's going to happen in it. So until I know what the plot is, I probably need to not try and write it. How about you? How's the book going?
I have half a page left of the second.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Crucial moment. Are you enjoying it? Is it first person or third person?
Oh god.
It's funny sometimes when you don't know. Some books I feel like I always know what
first
person they're in. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what? I should know that because I was reading something that said obviously the Hunger Games and this one are in first person, but Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes isn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Obviously, because Snow isn't the hero, really.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I thought that was quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, although I quite like being inside a villain's head sometimes. Like,
yeah.
You can get that from the third person to some extent, can't you? But I think that it is quite interesting to hear the justification because a lot of villains don't think they are villains. They think that they're heroic, and they think that, like, I'm sure the Snow that we see in the Hunger Games, kind of thinks he's doing a great thing that will be remembered in history, and he's bringing the districts together or whatever.
I'm just hearing Snow as Donald Trump now, and it's just
I mean, there are some parallels. The name is even quite similar. Like, yeah, this is why I don't read dystopia, because it's all a bit present, isn't it?
It is.
Let's see how the people in the comments are doing. Yeah, see, that's what I remember of Clive Barker. I think I was inhaling Stephen King at the time, so I didn't really give Clive Barker a proper go, I don't think. Are you in? I feel like we've talked about this, Denise. Are you into crochet? Like, have you done much of it before? I really want to learn, but it's hopeless. I think it was crochet. I can't remember if we were talking about crochet or knitting last time. Do you do any of that, Kirsty, crocheting or knitting?
So I have like knitted a scarf.
I thought I'd seen you
past.
doing some, yeah.
But I did do a crochet workshop, like a hobbycraft one, and yeah, I failed big time. I haven't gone back to it either.
Oh, I really want to learn. Maybe that's the way to see whether it suits me, because like knitting I've not done, because my grandma, she showed me how to knit and then she would kind of get me on track. So I'd get myself in a mess with it, like a big snarl, or it'd end up too tight, or I'd get to the end of a row and forget what to do. And she'd kind of set me back on track. And she passed away a couple of years ago. So it's like I kind of haven't wanted to pick it up since.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I will at some point, but she was like the one that kind of kept me going with it.
Yeah. I mean, my mistake was that I chose what I thought was a beginner's class, and it wasn't. It was like a granny square, but there is a pre-beginners session that teaches you even more basics. So perhaps I will go back and do that at some point. But
I didn't know Hobbycraft did that. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, they do some in store, but they do online ones as well. So
okay.
I actually sat and watched one of their online ones the other week, because you get a video afterwards as well, and I just wasn't in the mood to do it that night, so I watched everybody else doing it instead. So because I did a metallic watercolor butterfly one a few weeks back, and then this one was pointillism, so where you kind of use dots to kind of create the thing. But I just couldn't be bothered to get all my paints out, so I will watch the recap video and do it another time.
I did a project on that. Who is there's a really famous female artist who does that. I can't remember her name now. I can picture it. I think she's Japanese.
Not sure.
But yeah, she does some amazing stuff, and the kids love her stuff. When I've done it, and they love it. It's so interesting. Like, get a class of children doing tiny little dots, and the calm is just incredible. It's really, like, I found it really mindful, because I did some example ones for them. And yeah, it was great. I loved doing that. And then I love the thing with dots, where it looks so strange when you're up close, and then you look back and it's something totally different.
Yeah, well, this is a forest scene, so like just like trees and shadows and stuff like that, and it looks quite cool. So I definitely do want to do it. It's just just not that day.
That's the thing with creativity, though. I'm convinced that if you just can't force it. Like sometimes with like cross stitch, I'm so in the mood that I can't think about anything else, and then others I'll look at it and I'm like, I've got no instinct to even touch that today.
I mean, I've been
too many hobbies.
Organizing and tidying mode. So since I lost Binky, I obviously decided that that's how I grieve, is just to tidy stuff.
That sounds like quite a productive way of grieving. Yeah, like it's not like making a mess and just eating loads of ice cream, is it?
I got loads of clothes picked up today. I've got some more going tomorrow, so I'm just like getting stuff out of my house, and it's fresh start of things.
Yeah, spring's a good time for that, isn't it? Kind of everything waking up, and I keep looking at my house and thinking, right, this is the year I'm going to not become a clutter person. She says, with like 10 Disney cushions behind her. And the latest edition, we went to Center Parks, and of course we came back with this useful object. I mean, is it a pool toy? Is it a whale? Is it a narwhal? I don't know. But
does it float?
Yeah. Oh, okay. We did a like mini jet ski session, and at the end the lady let Nathan pick one, and of course he picked this creature that I don't know what it is. I think narwhal is a safe assumption.
Or
but
a
yeah,
beluga whale?
Oh, it might be, possibly. It's the colour that's thrown me off. It's got purple stripes on it. This is the house that I live in. It's just because I love cuddly things as well. I mean, where's my werewolf? I bought this squishmallow recently. We went to get Nathan. Went to get Nathan one, and he didn't get one, and I came out with one. I was like, "What is?" But he loves this one as well, so it's fine that we share it. But yeah,
I've got a little bat.
Oh, I have that one. My friend sent it to my son when he was born, and he still got it amongst his many cuddly toys. That's very cute.
Yeah, my friend bought it for Christmas actually. So,
yeah, you're like me. I think people associate us with bats and vampires.
Bats and vampires,
things. Yeah. Quite happy with that.
That's fine.
The kitty is just telling us to stop having a break. But we've not finished Kitty, so shush. So Weevil Things Are Turning Dire. Clive Barker. So I guess.
Is that the first 29 pages? Does it like just go straight into the terror?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I assumed that, yeah, probably. I'm reading, have you read The Last House on Needless Street?
No.
Oh, it's so, I don't know, like the voice is absolutely amazing from a writing craft point of view. One of the characters is a cat, so you've got her narration, and then the main character, I can't even describe him, you just have to read it, but he's obviously got lots of deep issues from childhood trauma. I'm not sure whether he's got sort of challenges with his learning as well. He seems to see the world in quite a different way. And it's just, I've not read anything like it, but Catriona Ward does this to me. I read Looking Glass Sounds last year, and it just melted my brain. It really messes with you as a reader. And I think that this book, I'm just waiting for the rug to be pulled out from under me. And there's a missing child, which I'm not a fan of, as you know, but because I'm so intrigued, I'm like pushing through because I want to know what is going on. It's really good. I can see why it was a Rich and Judy pick, which is quite abstract and weird for Rich and Judy, I would say.
But you said one of the narrators is a cat, you said. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does seem weird for Richard and Judy.
and I can't really explain it without spoiling it, but the cat and the human character both have quite strange ideas about some gods have just come into play, and they're both talking about these gods. I'm like, oh gosh, this is weird, and I'm absolutely invested. And I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm sort of going around. I tend to audiobook as I'm cleaning, and I'm walking around the house, and I just stop, and then I'm like, hang on, I'm just going to replay that. Did they really just say that? Like, yeah, okay, they did. The cat's talking now. We're fine. I'd recommend it. It's very gripping, and like I said, just a masterclass in writing. I think Catriona Ward is just amazing.
I don't think I've read anything by her actually, so
I'd recommend Looking Glass Sound is probably a bit more literary horror, if that's even a thing. It's quite kind of slow burning and ponderous in places, but again, really good. And it does, like, it makes you gasp at some bits, like, what? No, did you just go there? So yeah, I want to read everything that she writes, but maybe with gaps in between, just so I can recover emotionally and physically from the experience. Well done, Ellie. That is awesome. It sounds like the productivity is happening. That's why I like the Queen Harsh. Just don't care. Just gets bored or is annoyed. Yes, knitting. I feel like, it might have been knitting. I to be fair, I do know the difference. But yeah, I know that you can crochet and knit some, like, say, granny square. I feel like
you could
square and
well, crochet knitting is 2 needles, crochet is
1. Oh, okay.
1 hook.
I didn't even know. I think I've bought a couple of crochet kits of stuff that I find looks really cool, but I've not opened them yet because I don't know how to crochet.
There's one video that's going around that kind of tells you how to crochet in like a horror way. It's like,
oh, amazing,
stab it, scoop out its guts, throw it off a cliff or something along those lines.
Yeah, that would be fine for me. I feel like that would stick in my brain. Do you know what? I had no expectations. I've never been sent to arts before, and it was the best 4 days. We had such a good time. It was just like, you're in the woods, I was a bit worried by the word lodge because I'm not very outdoorsy. And it wasn't an outdoorsy lodge. It was like a cozy, like a nice caravan kind of lodge. And yeah, we swam every day, and we mostly watched little person do little person activities, because he's at the point where he can't really do the activities we could do with him. Like, it would be mini archery rather than actual bow and arrow. Adult archery, that would just be a nightmare in the making. To give him a bow to do crossbows as well, and I was like, I don't think we're ever going to do that together somehow.
I did archery locally a couple of years back, and it was by like the boatyard at Poole, and I shot my arrow into the boatyard by accident, and this guy came out pretending it was in his leg.
That's awful.
I was like, oh my god.
Speaking of traumatized, like, that could have been it right there. Oh, Kirsty.
But no, he was fine.
I was more the not strong enough to fight the, like, because you have to have quite a lot of arm strength. So I did occasionally get it to stick in the target, but more often than not, mine just went, pooh.
I knocked the target off, I think, one of the times.
Oh, did you? Like, see, it sounds like too much power is the issue there. I don't have that problem.
Which Centre Parks was it?
The Sherwood Forest one, which is the closest one to me, I think, is not that far from where we live. So that was really handy with little person, because you were basically, are we there yet? We basically were by the time we got that question, so it was fine. Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah. Oh my gosh, halfway is 400 pages. That is brutal. At 350, 400, I'm usually done. Although I have just written my Dracula retelling, I think, is over 100k now. So I've written a long book. It just keeps, sometimes when you edit a book, it gets shorter. Yeah. Every round of edit, it's just, no,
I don't.
Yeah, I do. Occasionally I do ramble in a first draft, and then editing refines it down. But this one, people just kept saying, hey, could you add a scene about this? And could you add a bit about this character? And I think it did improve it every time. But I just kept saying, we were aiming for 95,000 words. It's now 97. It's now 19. And I've stopped flagging the fact that I've gone over 100,000.
Yeah, well, mine's 96. I think it was 83 before the summer. So it did go up a bit.
I don't think that's bad. I think that's the kind of thing that a publisher could take that and tell you, it's either going to be that length if it needs to be, or it's going to get trimmed. And the nice thing, an editor will tell you where they think you should trim it. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, there was some discussion about me getting it down to 70, which it seems like a lot of work to do that.
I mean, so in your defense, I think 70 is very short. Like, when I think of stuff that I know that 70k, it's like the kind of Cynthia Murphy, Catherine Foxfield, like very tight thrillers where there's not really any room for slower moments or anything. It's like go. So it depends on what they want you to go for, really.
Yeah. Well, I think there's just a lot of drive to write shorter for teens. So,
I think there is. I don't know. I think that it depending on which publisher and what you're going for. I think you can also argue the fantasy route, where a lot of fantasies are really chunky, aren't they? Yeah. And I think, as the subjects we write about, you can kind of get away with saying the fantasy if you really want to.
Yeah.
Occasionally people point that out to me and I say I don't read fantasy. They're like, you write it.
Write it, yeah. But urban fantasy is slightly different from fantasy. I can't even think of the word now. Epic fantasy or stuff like that. So
I love it. Urban fantasy is my jam. Whenever I hear people say, like, occasionally people say like, oh, urban fantasy is like out in the UK and in the US, and I'm like, don't agree. I love it. Like, Charlene Harris type books are just what I would read all the time if I could get hold of enough of them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. I don't want to say too much, and I haven't read enough to be able to spoil it. I don't think. I'm only maybe an hour into the audiobook, and I think it's still laying the groundwork to just rip everything out of me. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things, Kirsty, you can laugh about now. I imagine in the moment it wasn't very funny.
I was like, and then he like laughed straight away, so he didn't keep it
on.
Oh, good. Going for very long. Thankfully.
Can you imagine if you'd laid down on the ground and you'd just been like, no?
I mean, it would be my luck because I am quite clumsy. So.
And sounds like quite strong as well. I can see that for you, Denise. I totally see you like looking cool with the bow and arrow. I look really silly with the bow and arrow. I'm like, I aspire to be Buffy, but I'm definitely not. I'm Giles. I'm like Tweed and libraries and cups of tea, definitely. I mean, is there such a thing as a lucky shot, though, or are you just really skilled? Then
she's probably just skilled, isn't she?
Probably. It depends on how they set the pages out and the borders and stuff. My Mina books the second one looked really, really chunky, but they just used a different type of paper. It actually wasn't. I think it was 10,000 words longer than the first one, possibly. But it looked like it was a lot more just because they used thicker paper and a different way of printing. So It really depends. It could be about 400 pages, I think, maybe. Or slightly more.
Maybe a little bit more. Maybe 450.
It just depends how big the pages are and the margins.
And how big the font.
Yeah. I don't even know what font they're going to use, because I'd got a very specific... I liked the Mina font a lot, so I hope it's as readable as that one. I'll speak up if I don't like anything. I think publishers are getting used to that with me. I'm not a person who ever looks at something and goes, yeah, I love it, if I don't. And I've been lucky so far, but I would speak up if I felt I needed to.
My dream would be that the book that obviously that I hopefully gonna go out and sub with at some point is written in that bionic reading font, the ADHD friendly one. That would be ideal for my book, because then I would be able to read it faster as well.
Well, the thing is as well, like, you know, that relates to the content, doesn't it, too? So that kind of makes sense to me. Are there any ADHD friendly publishers? You know, like there's Barrington Stoke. Like, are there any?
Not that I'm aware of, and obviously it's not like a font that's on like Kindle and stuff like that yet, which I have tweeted Kindle a few times to say, could you make this font available, because they've got the open dyslexia font in Kindle.
What's it called, the one that you just mentioned? I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's bionic reading. So it's basically, so you know, the open dyslexia is like heavier on the bottom. So this is heavier on the first couple of letters of the word, because basically our brains are really good at filling in the bits between the beginning and the end of words.
That is
so
how I read as well.
It definitely helps me read so much faster. I mean, the open dyslexia is better for me than normal fonts, but the bionic is even better. So
see, I've got dyslexic friends who've read the Mina books and said that font is pleasing to, you know, for dyslexic readers, but I can't verify that from personal experience. But certainly when I see those ADHD reading things, you know, at the test where it says like, if you can read this, then you know you possibly have got. The more and more I hear about ADHD, the more I'm like, yeah, I do definitely have traits of this, because like the way that I break up my day and the way I can't ever finish a tidying task, I'm like, I just start 20 tidying tasks and don't finish any of them. That's generally the way I clean a house.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been cleaning, but I started medication in November. So, you know, grief, ADHD meds could be a combo.
Have you actually, without, you know, if you want to talk about it, have you found a difference with that? Like, has it been helpful?
Yeah, no, I definitely have found a difference. I think, and I read something the other day that I was like, oh yeah, that's spot on. It's like, you can focus better. You still might not always focus on the right things. I'm like, oh God damn it. That's why I still keep putting off writing this report or doing this like really heavy brain work. But like actually doing laundry and putting it away has been a bit better and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I'm happy.
It's putting it away
soon.
That's my problem. I am fine at washing it and hanging on the air, absolutely. Putting it away, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I still do occasionally. Like I think I did this week, leave like a load in the tumble dryer for about 3 days. But I haven't had the best week. I've not been very well with a bug and stuff. So I think that was that rather than my ADHD.
I think you're justified. You just reminded me that I've got a washing load that I need to empty. So I should probably do that at the beginning of the next sprint. Otherwise, it'll be there tomorrow. And then I'll be like, you know, the thing where you realise you've left it in for a couple of days or a day. So you wash it again. And then you don't want to repeat that any more than once, because it just becomes like, how much heat and water am I using just because I can't remember to take a washing load out?
I mean, I do that with a dishwasher sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, luckily the dishwasher is Kev's domain and the washing machine is, I mean, he washes his own clothes, to be fair, but for me and Nathan it's my domain. I didn't do it much as a kid. My parents reckon that I went once, that I don't recollect. I think I was really small, so I think it's going to become at least a yearly occurrence for us.
We did Pontins.
Is that similar?
And Haven, I think, when I was younger. And Pontins had like a crocodile as their mascot.
Oh, cute.
And our dad dressed up as the crocodile one time, and we knew it was him because of his socks.
Oh. Foiled by the
Yeah.
socks. Well done, Dad. I mean, I think that is still skill, but it could also just be lucky. It could be a combination, I think, probably. Hello. Oh, hello. I just realised who you are. Hi, V. You okay? I don't think I've seen you on here before, have I? Nice when I see real life people that I know pop up. Okay, that's interesting to know.
It makes me calmer.
Yeah.
Which is weird considering I am actually, it is a stimulant that I'm on, which I didn't think I was going to be allowed to take because I've been having some tachycardia. But because my tachycardia is managed with meds, they said it was okay. So, but yeah, you'd think taking a stimulant you'd be hyper, but it's completely opposite. It's just like real chill.
I suppose it depends what it's stimulating, doesn't it? Like, is it just making
stimulating dopamine production for us, I guess. So
okay. Oh, that must be the nice calm feelings. Yeah, it sounds very appealing.
Happy feeling.
Dopamine. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, let's do another sprint. I think this might be the last one just because I can feel myself getting sleepy and I'm not sure that I can manage to not fall asleep in the last one. But
is it raining with you by you as well?
Do you know what? I can't hear it. It does feel a little bit cool as if we're going to get some. If not,
well, yeah, it got really dark about 3:30 here, and then started dropping it down about 6.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, it wasn't at that time. I was out on a walk, so it wasn't raining then. But whether it is, yeah, that is so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got a friend who's fairly recently diagnosed, and yeah, interestingly, does drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I used to be able to drink coffee before bed, and people would go, "Why are you having coffee before bed?" I mean, it was decaf because I generally drink decaf anyway. But even then, for some people, they're like, "No, I wouldn't be able to do that." I was like, "Oh, no, it's fine. Doesn't bother me."
And then it all makes sense when you get diagnosed. It's like, oh yeah, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to do washing and various other really exciting things during the next sprint. So, are you going to carry on reading?
I am indeed. Yeah.
Read your half page, then get on to your next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's catch up in 40 minutes and then probably wrap things up. See you in a bit.
Yeah. Cool. See you then.
Hello, the kitty completely just got me. Every time.
I didn't jump out of my skin for that one, so that was good.
I did. I can never judge time, so I looked and I was like, oh, a minute left, cool. And then the next thing I know, it meows and I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So I got the washing out and then I sat and read my Kindle for a bit and then I got distracted and played on my phone until the end of the sprint. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Kat's book. It's so good. It's really, really fun.
Cool. Yeah, I read until the end of chapter 4, so it's about like 58 pages or so in. And then little doggy wanted some love and attention, so we've just been having some little cuddles. He's now eating a carrot.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's a healthy snack.
I mean, I gave it to him hours ago, so where he put it until just now, I don't know.
It's like children. I do spend a lot of my time going, where did you get that from? It's like, you gave it to me. And I'm like, when?
Yeah. What have you got in your mouth is a very, very common phrase that I say.
I just found in the bottom of the washing machine a very carefully rolled up ball of baby bell wax. I was like, that's been in somebody's pocket. I should start checking pockets now. Like, we've obviously come to the point of leaving stuff. And yeah, it was perfectly preserved, so it doesn't break down the wash, because I had images. I was thinking, oh gosh, is it going to be like all over our clothes? And no, it was just there.
It was just there as a just a clean ball of wax.
Yeah. The amount of stuff I wash, and then I think, yeah, that thing should never been washed, like a packet of paracetamols or stuff like that, and you just got the perfectly clean bit of plastic there. Like, yeah, I think it's time for me to watch a tiny bit of telly to unwind and then go to bed, because I think I'm getting to that point. It's only 9:20. I'm already fantasizing about bed.
I know, I'm actually quite tired tonight. I mean, I might see if I can maybe read up to like page 100-ish, and then it's because it's just under 400.
Okay.
This one. And then hopefully I'll be able to finish over the weekend.
Yeah.
So I haven't got anything in my diary. I'm going to go to the bookshop tomorrow because I've got a couple of pre-orders to collect. But apart from that, I have no plans.
That sounds like a nice plan to have, for no plans plus bookshop. So what are you thinking of the book so far? 50 pages in, have you formed an opinion yet?
Yeah, I mean, she's brilliant. I love this series actually. She just kind of, I don't know, just makes you root for these people that you know. Well, obviously we know that they win, but they don't win in a fun way.
No.
It's not a nice win.
No.
So we know where they're going to go through hell and back again, and it's good. I mean, it's got Plutarch, the character, is actually kind of more like the one that kind of accompanies them on the train.
Okay.
So you see, obviously in Hunger Games, he's kind of made his way up to head games maker. So he's kind of, where they start and kind of, move on up. So.
Oh, that's cool. I think I need to get them both proper. Is it hardcover at the minute?
Yeah.
Because I think, obviously, I've got the Hunger Games in paperback. I might get Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in paperback if it's. I'm assuming the paperback that's out.
Yeah, I mean, it is only £10, I think, in the works at the moment, the hardback. So I don't know about the paperback of Songbird though. Yeah, I got Ballad in hardback, and then I've just started collecting the illustrated editions of the original. So they've only done book 1 so far, but they've announced book 2 for October now.
Is that hardcover?
Yeah, like big hard covers. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting for a YA series to get that. That's really nice, actually, because normally there's been the odd middle grade one that's got that treatment, but I can't think of another YA series that has to that level of detail.
Yeah, no, because Harry Potter's the other one, I guess, but that's kind of middle grade, I guess, into YA. But no, I can't. I guess we probably more often see like a graphic novel adaptation of a YA series rather than an illustrated version.
Yeah, that's true. Stuff like Twilight got those, didn't they? And I'm trying to think what other ones I've got. I feel like I've got a couple of the, the really popular YA series as I've had graphic novel versions of. I don't tend to read them. I tend to have them as a collector's edition. I like the original thing that I read. I don't really have much interest in reading another version of it, I don't think. But
no, I do enjoy that. I've got the graphic novel of The Stand.
Oh yeah.
Kindred, Handmaid's Tale. I just bought Sleeping Beauties, which is another Stephen King. So yeah, no, I like once I like something, I tend to like it in whatever format it comes in.
I need to read the King ones because I've got the did they do Gunslinger in a graphic novel? I feel like I might have read that.
Possibly, but I'm not familiar. I mean, I've not read that series yet, which my friend Catherine is like forever berating me for because she wants me to read it. I mean, she was the one who introduced me to King. She bought me a copy of The Stand for my birthday one year. So, but it's like 7 books, isn't it? And again, chunky dunky. The first 3 I think are relatively small, and then they just go stupid size.
Yeah, I've just read Finders Keepers. Finders Keepers is within If It Bleeds, I think, isn't it? And yeah, I think it's If It Bleeds, the title of the whole thing, and I really enjoyed that. One of the dystopian one, unsurprisingly, I didn't enjoy as much as the others. Have you read that one?
No.
It was really good. It's got a really good Holly Gibney story in it. I think that is called If It Bleeds, actually, that I really liked. And it's got a good one called Mr. Hannigan's Phone that's got quite a nice take on mobile phone technology, and a creepiness of an old chap passes away and is buried with his mobile phone that he was very fond of. And in Stephen King fashion, stuff starts happening, with the phone. And I enjoyed that. It felt very like old school King, which is probably my favorite Stephen King. Like, I tend to like his older stuff a lot, possibly out of nostalgia more than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. And it's made me kind of think, oh, what Stephen King do I want to read next? Because I've not read as many as you'd think. I own all of those Ultimate Storytellers, and I've probably read a fraction, like a fifth of them or something.
I'm the same. I kind of own quite a lot, but haven't read them all. So yeah, I think the last one I read was Salem's Lot last year, so which I hadn't read obviously up until then. So
yeah, I like that. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, it was very I guess reminiscent of it to me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it takes a while to get going. I think Salem's Lot. I seem to remember when I first read it being like, oh, this is one of those Stephen Kings, isn't it, that needs to accelerate, and then it gradually and then it does, and all of a sudden when you start seeing the vampire, you're like, yeah, okay, we're going now.
Yeah, well, it's creepy missing kids again, so
yeah, I mean, I watched the film version of it at Christmas, and Shelley was laughing at me because we tend to like buddy. Yeah, we buddy watch films quite often, so she'll watch it at the same time. Her and her Kev will be watching it with me and my Kev, and we always end up picking missing kids films. And she's like, "I'm sorry," and I said, "It's fine. I picked this one." She picked the previous year. We watched Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever, which also had missing kids. And I was like, all horror seems to do this at the moment.
Yeah, well, I guess it is the ultimate horror, I guess. For parents.
Is.
So it makes sense that it would be in there. But no, I want to see the new series and then watch the old film as well.
So. Yeah, so it was. I think there's been a series of it. We watched the movie adaptation, the 2024 one, and I think there's been a mini series as well that I've not seen. It was good. It felt very slightly lacking in underpinning mythology, like the nice thing about vampire stuff where you get to figure out how they work and how they can be stopped. Like, I wanted more of that, but there was some beautiful, there was an amazing set piece in it, a particular moment where it's so tense and gripping, and I enjoyed it overall, but I wanted more from the vampires. I have high expectations now when it comes to vampire stuff.
Yeah. I'm not scared for you to read my book at all.
No, I don't be. I started reading it and it was really good. I literally read like half a chapter and then got all these emails and I was like, oh no,
like,
these have actually got dates attached. Well, and you know what? I love doing it, but there is just the slight pressure of you're always given a date, like, hey, it's going to go to print by this date. So if you don't blurb it, it's not going to make it. And I always try and it's generally friends that I blurb books for as well. So I'm like, oh, it's the double pressure of I don't want to let somebody down and I know them. Like Kat is just the loveliest, most supportive person in the horror community. And like, I want to support her. So it's like, right, I've got to hit this deadline. But hers is the last one. Hers came in, I always try and read them in or publication date order, and hers is the last one to come in. So
do they give you like a word count for the blurb? Or do they just kind of let you say as much or as little as you want?
They don't generally, and I tend to give them like a line or two and then say feel free to cut it, because quite often they'll choose the bit that says like brilliant fun or whatever at the beginning, or if you do a comp, like I don't know, what did I put on one of Kat's ones and it made it onto the cover? I chose it was like Scream meets something, and then it was put on the back cover because the publisher liked the two comps that I'd used. Yeah, so they tend to choose a bit of what you say, so it's worth just making sure that you say something that makes sense in part or in whole. So yeah, you spend like however many hours reading a book, and then you rattle off a sentence about it, and you're like, oh, that feels like a bit of an anticlimax. But I always make myself read the book, because books can kind of take you off guard sometimes, and I want to, even if it's a friend's book, I've got to make sure that
exactly the last thing you want to do is have them say something that you completely disagree with.
And I'm not
land right, and you're like, oh yeah, and then everybody will kind of go, oh okay, you like this, did you?
And I mean, I'm not saying that every book I blurb I like everything in them is perfect, but I'll only blurb a book if I think it's really good. There've been odd ones that I've read and then sometimes I email the publisher and say I'm not going to blurb this, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm just going to let this line. If they email me and ask for a reason, I'll give one, but it doesn't happen often, because generally I get asked to blurb stuff that I like. It's like, do you want to read Jennifer Killick's new book? It's like, yes, obviously I do.
Because it was interesting. Is it in the States they're stopping blurbs?
Oh,
they're
really?
kind of getting rid of the practice, but I believe that it was said that the UK wouldn't be stopping the practice. So
for now, it seems to be a thing that UK publishers like to put on the the sheet of paper thing that comes, like the press release that comes with the book. Often it goes on covers and stuff. So it maybe depends who the blurb's from as well. It could be that publications become more selective. Like if Stephen King's going to blurb something, I feel like they'd probably find a way to get it on the cover.
Sure.
But
I think I do read the blurbs, but it does annoy me when it's just blurbs on the back and they don't actually have the synopsis.
I
know.
Same.
With a hardcover, even with paperbacks, they might have it on the inner cover, but that's not the point. You expect it on the back cover. You want to know what the book's about, not just what.
I don't think a blurb I don't think a blurb convinces me to buy a book, because I need to still know what it's about. Like even if it's like Stephen King is the one where I would possibly go, Stephen King, you say, I'd probably give it more of a look. But apart from him, I don't think there's many. I think I'd want to make decisions for myself, because there are some subjects that I just don't like. I don't like to be taken off guard by a book. Right, let's see what the last few comments are and then say good night. I feel like it's getting late. Thank you. Oh, Aragon, that's a good call. I didn't know that. I haven't read that for years. I might have to pick that one up.
I haven't read it at all, but I did buy a paperback box set recently. So
I liked the first one. I didn't read any more of them, but not just because any reflection on the book. I just did the thing where I moved on. I was like, I've read the first one, now I'm going to move on. The beauty of buying books like this, I feel like it's an investment. Like I've just bought most of these Adora Moon books. I'm like, well, obviously it's for Nathan. Like, it's not for me as well. I don't absolutely love them.
That is one that I haven't read that one.
You know what? They're slightly, some middle grades, like you can read them as an adult. They do read a little young for an adult. Like it's very far removed, but they're just so.
Aren't they? Probably.
Yeah, they are, and they're just very, very cute. Like She loses her dad's comb, so she swims under the sea in like a magic bubble and meets a mermaid. It's like, it's very whimsical, and it's just about the level of peril that my 5-year-old can cope with. It's like, oh no, a lost comb, what will she do? And I'm like, oh yes, it's terrible, isn't it? I hope she finds it. There's obviously, he's not learned yet that there's no chance that she will not find the comb in the Isadora Moon book. It'll be fine. He still like thinks that there's, you know, there's a chance it could go wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's a tiny bit younger still than like Amelia Fang.
Yeah, it is. Amelia Fang. I'd say Amelia Fang's like quite young, middle grade anyway, and Isadora definitely fits. Because I wondered if I was writing a chapter book to begin with, and I was like, no, I think it's a middle grade book. I was kind of hoping it was a chapter book. I was like, they're short. I could get it out my system and move on. I do think I've got 2 or 3 chapter book ideas, but yeah, not yet. I think they're maybe next year. At some point. Okay, well, thank you for coming on. It's been lovely to chat to you as usual.
Thank you for inviting me, and
have a nice book weekend. I'm gonna have one of those catching up weekends because I've been too busy. I've not, you know, like catch up on the housework and admin tasks and stuff. So yeah, I agree. It's like, to me, like the bottom end of middle grade, like bridging that gap. Like, I reckon chapter book readers would probably, I think it's too old for my 5-year-old, for example, but he's not far off.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Amelia Fang series.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the physical copy is very tempting. Thank you for coming on in the comments. It's lovely. Thank you everybody in the comments, and I will hopefully catch up with you all soon. Bye.
Bye everyone.